Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get started. You guys, I know I'm coming to you crazy with my towel on my head, but you would appreciate it. But I had asked my mentor and one of my best friends to come and talk to you guys. And not only did I ask her, but she wanted to because she had seen just how amazing you guys are. And I know that not everyone is being able to make it. That's why I'm recording it. So that way, anyone who misses out, you'll be able to hear all the goodness that she has to say. But if you don't know who she is, it's Court Glazer. She is, she's also our millionaire leader, and she has the most kind servant heart. Literally would give the shirt off of her back, and I adore her. But I will go ahead and let her take it away.
I love you. Not Laura introducing me as kind. She always has to remind me to be gentle. I love you so much. Oh my God. Thank you guys for showing up tonight. I just want to first tell you this because I think you know, but I have to stop and remember that you probably don't know how good you are. And I mean that very sincerely. I even find myself having to stop and tell Cassie and Laura that, like, I don't take you guys for granted, but I don't stop and think, you know what? They probably don't even know how good they are because you're just so good. You're self-starters, you're motivated, you show up, you are, for me, your every mentor's dream is to work with a team like yours that you work together, you rally together, you move mountains together. And it's one of the coolest things as a leader. I was actually talking to someone on a Zoom about this earlier today, and she's like, I just feel frustrated. And I said, it wasn't until I was 3 years into this industry, a year into this company, until I met people that actually matched the energy I had. And I had some people, don't get me wrong, but truthfully, to be like that point of no return in my business, it was in 2018. And I believe that's the year Laura joined. If not, it was right after. Yeah, it was right after that was whenever I signed Coop and Ken's and Laura came on. And then here comes Cassie and Britt. And I don't want to leave anyone out, but if I left them out, I left them out. But there was so many amazing people that came on board. And I share that with you because number one, you are those people. But number two, if you ever feel like, where is that other person out there that's like me? Where is that other person that gets it? Like, man, you feel frustrated. You feel like you're alone. Not that you don't have a good team, but I know what that feels like. I felt that for a long time. And I'm going to tell you, I have like so many different notes going on, but this is just something honestly that I didn't plan on talking about, but that's on my heart. It wasn't until I started talking differently that I got different results. And by that, I mean, I was getting people into the computer system that I saw potential in, that I saw a huge need. And I had something that could really help fix their life. But it didn't matter because they weren't hungry for it. People will ask me all the time, how did you make it to the top so fast? I did it like I was trying to come up for air swimming, and it was either that or I was going to die. Like, that's how I got started in this business. And not everybody does. Not everybody is jobless. Not everybody is, quote unquote miserable. They may be comfortable, but I was literally miserable. And so my hunger was different. I had lost a lot in my life, but even then, I was not attracting the people that got the vision, that understood the mission, that truthfully understood network marketing. And it wasn't until I started to understand it and took it, it's not even take it seriously because my work ethic has always been there, but it was like that confidence. And, like, you can do something and a year later do it and have two completely different emotions behind doing it, right? And when you become confident in your business and the way you talk to people, the game will change. And I think that so many times we feel like imposters and we're like, well, I haven't signed anyone. How can I like get on here and be like, I have this badass opportunity? Or, you know, I get that, but I promise you, even once you taste a lot of success, you're still going to have those months where you're like, well, I haven't enrolled anyone. How can I talk about it? You've got to not think about what you've done, but what you have. What do you have your hands on? And how can you take your confidence up a notch? I get it. I used to say things like, oh, you know, it's like Avon, like, did your mom ever buy Avon or Tupperware? And literally, like, that's how I introduced what I did when I was a 200K. Like, WTF. Like, that's how insecure I was. That's how little confidence I had in our industry and in this profession. And now I would go toe to toe, like literally. So, like, there was this one day where I was feeling down, and this is like embarrassing, but I'm gonna tell y'all anyways. I was feeling down. And so I was like, I am going to Google highest paying jobs because I'm pretty fucking smart and I'm gonna figure it out. And like, maybe I'm supposed to do something else. I'm gonna tell you, after 5 minutes of looking, I was like, they want to pay me how little to do brain surgery? I can't even do brain surgery. And I remember looking through these jobs and I was like, well, number one, I'm not qualified. And number two, that ain't shit compared to what I've seen in this industry. And it was a huge reality check for me. And it gave me confidence not to be cocky, but to be convicted and to know, okay, Court, like, a brain surgeon would take their job seriously. You know, the number one real estate agent wouldn't be like, well, I kind of sell houses. Like, these people are loud and proud about their professions. Like, what is wrong with you? And so I have to remind myself of that often. Like, what I do is real. No, I don't have to wear a suit and red bottoms to work every day and drive my fancy car. I can sit in my sweats and I haven't even had a shower today. But my job is as real as the person that goes in and does do brain surgery and does do this and does do that and is a lawyer and all of those fancy titles. Our job is in my opinion just as important. It serves its purpose. It brings me home to my family. It gives me a front row seat with my husband. It helps people take care of their health. It's a very important job. I remember a few years ago, whenever the pandemic hit, and Paul called me, and he didn't know me too well, and I could tell he was kind of like buttering me up. And he's like, so like, I know COVID hit, and I could tell he was trying to like feel me out as a leader to know what level of support I needed and like where my mind was. And I remember going, Paul, cut the bullshit. We're essential. And he goes, what? And I said, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not afraid. We sell vitamins. We're essential employees, in my opinion. And he goes, all right, bye, and hung up. Because I already had in my head how important this was. I will never make these crazy claims about our job and what it does, or we cure this or we cure that, but we have a very important job. We have a job that's going to help people take care of their health and stay alive longer, to be with their children and to help them get up off the couch and interact with their kids. And, you know, Jay's a coach for the girls softball team. Like, all of these things that we're able to do because of this. And that's important to me. That's serious to me. And that's impactful to me. And so I just want to help you take your mind from, I know I'm here, I know what to do, but I want more. I want the next level. And I'm going to tell you that you've got to switch your gear into from support mode to action mode. And by support mode, here's what I want to kind of tell you. When we're in support mode, we believe in what we do, but we're more like, I view it as like a spotter, like in a stunt, like, I'll catch you if you fall. I'm here to answer your questions. And we just are kind of like that passive person. Sure, our work ethic is insane. Sure, we show up. Sure, we enroll. But we believe in it. And maybe, and one day, hopefully, and well, maybe that'll be me. And then we switch into action mode and conviction mode, where we are like, Courtney's no different than me. Courtney can do this. I can do this. This isn't for just a few people. This is for anybody who's willing to give it everything they've got to get to where they need to go. this isn't just for this person or that person. This is for anyone that believes that they can do it. And I know that some of you may be sitting there going, yeah. If it was that easy and I just believed him. No, you got to put some work behind it. You got to put some elbow grease behind it. But I'm going to tell you right now that there's not a damn thing different about me than you, other than I started before you. And I might have started with a different mentality that you very easily can adopt. And my mentality was, why the hell not me? I had lost everything in life. I had already had a job that I loved that I lost. I had failed. I had had people talk bad about me. I'd already effed up enough in life. I wasn't afraid. I wanted to go make something of myself. And I knew that that was going to take me going all in and giving it everything I had, but it was going to take a little bit more than that. It was going to take me having conviction and me being able to look at someone and say, yeah, I'm a network marketer. Like, do you know anything about the industry? What's the worst that can happen? Oh, you're in a pyramid scheme. Oh, okay, bye. I'm not having a conversation. The best that could happen is, yeah, network marketing is becoming more and more prevalent. What company are you with? You've got to hold your head high as the person out there walking into a doctor's office that's presenting them with the next medicine that they should carry in their doctor's office because they're a pharmaceutical rep. How would you walk if you were one of those? It's no different than what we do. The way we walk and the way we talk is going to take us to our next level. So these are some things that I feel like helped me switch from support mode to action mode. Sampling. I know you have heard that till you're blue in the face. I will be the first to tell you that I haven't gotten one sample out this month and our week has already gone by. I'm not okay with that. I know right now, talking to you guys, call myself out on my bullshit. I got to get more samples out. I got some out last month. I enrolled, I think, 5 people. Okay, it doesn't stop there. Court, get back up, get samples out. And it's this rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And Jason talked to us about that. And sometimes that can be exhausting. But I want you to think, if you're a mom, and if you're not, just imagine with me, when you potty trained your kid, is it not put them back on the potty, hope they go, give them an M&M, put them back on, until one day, holy shit, they're going to the bathroom by themselves. It's the same thing in your business. It's the same thing in your business. You go, you show up, you get the samples out. You go live, you get the samples out. You do this, you do that, and wake up and holy shit, one day you're running a multi-million-dollar team. I promise you. That's how I feel. I can't sit here and tell you, well, I was in a sorority and like 100 of my sorority sisters joined. I can't tell you I signed this big dog from this one company that brought over 7,200 girls. I can't tell you any Big Bang theory that happened. I just kept like I'm so weird. I envision like putting a kid back on the toilet and putting them back on the toilet and putting them back on the toilet until holy shit, they're potty trained. Like that's exactly how this business works. You get up and you do it again, and you get up and you bring someone on and you teach them. And before you know it, you won't have time to bring someone on and teach them and wonder if they stick or not. You'll know who sticks. You'll know who's on hot on your tails. I know you guys are showing up. I know I don't have to ever go, oh my God, as Cassie posted, like that would never even cross my mind. Why? Because I know she's hungry for this. I know she wants this. I know Laura wants this. I don't wonder those things. I spent a lot of time at the beginning doing that. And it stopped me from doing that rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And I want you to think about what happens. Okay, let's go back to the kid going to the bathroom. You put him on the toilet, you put him on the toilet, you put him on the toilet, and you get distracted. And they went once. You got a little win. Regression. Regression happens to your goals whenever you stop pursuing them. Failure is not what makes you regress in your business. Failure to take action is what makes you regress in your business. And so often we go and do that thing. We do samples and nobody orders one. And then we do samples again and we get them out and we get a little bit of success. And then we don't do samples for 3 months. And then you've got to consistently take action or you're going to be not stopped, but I want you to envision a mountain, okay? And a lot of people have in their minds that there's this mountain and you just go up it and down it. But I want you to think about, what does it look like if you've ever driven in the mountains? What does it look like? It looks like this, okay? So many people are like, oh, I'm not like going up my mountain. Yeah, you are. You don't even realize you're going up. But what happens when you stop? There's nowhere to pull over. You go backwards. And now not only do you have to make up time, you've got to refine your motivation. You've got to refine your intention. And it's a lot. I'm not telling you I've never stopped. I'm not telling you, oh, you're screwed. Just go ahead and jump off the mountain if you started going backwards. What I'm telling you is I want you to remember those things whenever times get hard and you feel like you're not making progress. Just because you don't have that instant win, that sample cell, just because that kid doesn't go to the bathroom doesn't mean you stop putting that kid on the toilet. They'll never become successful at being potty trained. It's the same thing with training us with any habits. That's all life is a series of really great habits or really bad habits. And it takes us training our minds with our actions that we take over and over and over again to have successful habits. Okay. So samples out, going live, talking to people. Who are you talking to? I hear so often, oh my God, this girl's going to be so good. Oh my God, this person's going to sign next week. Oh my God, she's so excited. We talked for a year. I'm going to tell you right now that if someone is talking to me for a year, like no one's talking to me for a year. I'm sorry. Like you might watch me for a year, but we're not going back and forth for a year. Why? Because I'm so convicted in what I have and where I'm going next that you're going to want to come to, or you're not into this. And that's okay. But I'm not going back and forth with people. And here's how I successfully don't do that. I create a sense of urgency. They hear conviction in my voice. It was so crazy. The other day I was talking to a girl and I voice memoed her and she goes, holy crap. And I said, what? She goes, do you realize when you voice memo, I can hear your energy? And I'm thinking, well, duh, that's why I do it. But she took it a step further and she goes, no, but do you really understand when you text me, I read it from my level of excitement. When you voice memo me, I hear it from your level of excitement. And I was like, I know we say that, but like to hear someone explain it like that, I was like, I'm like, let him hear the excitement in your voice, but it's not even that. It's that they are listening now at the level of a intensity as you are excited. And I thought, man, I need to voice memo more. Like I need to voice memo even more because they can only read from their perception of and their level of excitement. And do you really think that when most people join, they're excited, or do you think they're more afraid? I would say 9 times out of 10, they're going to be more afraid and unsure. And they're going to be like, okay, she said to do this. But if you're like, oh my God, I'm so excited. You got your samples in, or oh my God, I'm so excited. You're ready to jump in the computer, or oh my God, I cannot wait for you to get your products in the mail. Save my number, text me the minute they come in. I mean, I know it's just a little thing. And I know we try to voice memo even more, but I just want you to think of the power of what that girl told me. I just thought, whoa, like she didn't hear my excitement. Now she's interpreting it through my excited like lens. It was just a really cool aha moment for me. So don't get caught up in likes and comments. Okay. I'm going to talk about this. Most of the people that will join you may never, ever, ever like and comment on your stuff. I'm going to tell you one of the things I used to get so caught up in is post love, post love, post love, post love. And here's what, I'm not even part of a post love thing anymore. And it's not that I'm against post love, but I used to get so caught up on that. And I also stopped our leadership chat from even doing it because here's the deal. I know what I bring to the table. I know what we have is valuable. I know my content is not meant for interaction. It is meant for impact. And I'm going to say that again. My content is meant for impact, not interaction. I can get all the likes and, oh, that's cute. And high five, girl. I don't want that. I want someone to go, me too. Bye. Behave. He's going out with Sabrina's husband. Drive your car, not mine. Sorry, I get sidetracked so easy. Okay, hold on. Let me think. Okay, so people can like be like, here's what I always say. I don't want fans. And I know for some of you, you may be going, what? Like, I thought it was like, I don't want fucking fans. I want people that want this. I want people that that think like me. And guess what? The majority of the people out there don't. So if I'm looking for 200 likes, I'm focused on the wrong thing. And I've been there. I've done that because I used to say this, like, you want exposure. You want exposure, but you don't need fans. I need people that want to do this with me. I don't need high fives. I don't need this or that. I want people that want to do this with me, that I'm moving, that when they read my post, they can literally see themselves sitting where I am sitting, not just somebody out there going, oh my God, good job. Like, literally, if Laura commented on everything I posted and put on my story all day, every day, I would be like, when are you working your business? And I'm not saying that rude. I love her and I do appreciate, time to time when she does that. But literally, if that's all she sat and did all day long, and if that's all I was posting to, I want to post to that one person sitting out there that's like me, because I know that I am in the 1%. I know that you are in the 1%. So I've got to think about 1% of the people. If I am sitting out there just throwing some BS up on the wall that applies to thousands of people, that's not very impactful. That's entertaining. And I want you to think about, how can you take your content up a notch to make an impact? Even if, I want you to think about this, okay? Sobriety. Okay. Are any of you on here sober? And I'm not like questioning you. I'm just that's like my biggest pillar. Okay. Chances are maybe a couple of you are, maybe, but the majority of you aren't. But what is the strongest thing that I am most passionate about? My sobriety. If I posted, how many days have you been sober? If you're not sober, you can't comment on that, right? Doesn't mean I don't like you, doesn't mean I don't love you, but I want you to think about that person that's been sober for 60 days because they've been watching me, and we have created this intense connection and relationship. Okay. Maybe don't use sobriety. Think about being vegan. Think about fill in the blank. I'm not posting to the majority. Hey, Danielle, I'm posting to that one person that's sitting there in my situation. And so I want you to think about that. If I wanted to put up a post that all of you could comment on, that's like so surface level. I'm asking you to go deep, dig deep into who you are. Don't be looking for a lot of interaction, be looking for a huge impact. It's the whole quality over quantity type thing. Okay. And I had to stop and realize that if I'm trying to make everyone happy and entertained, I'm actually connecting with nobody at all. And that was really hard. And when I created my podcast, I was afraid that it would kind of like pigeonhole me into like, oh, well, what if only sober people join me? And it's not that I don't love a good time or like to hang out with my friends that are drunk, but I was like, and so what if only sober people did join me? There's going to be other people on my team. But I thought like, and so what if they do, Court? So what if you're a vegan and you're so passionate about it that 10 girls that are vegan join? Who cares? Cool. Y'all got some really deep, serious connections now. I used to think that that would hinder me. Now I know that getting real clear on who I am, it helps me and it helps somebody else. And so you don't have to go vegan or get sober, but dial it into exactly who you are and who you want to work with. Okay. I'm not telling you that I don't want to work with other people, but I know who I would connect the most with, that literally like we would just everything about us would just like fit together like a puzzle. And those are the people that I'm posting to and want to connect with. And so I just want to throw that out there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in my notes. Hold on one second.
Can I say something really quick about
Absolutely.
posting? Because I like wrote it down and I know I'll forget it if you keep going. So I get all the time, not so much with customer base, but I can't sign a promoter. How do I sign a promoter? What am I doing it wrong? Why can't I get a promoter in the system? And the first thing I ask or even look through is your social media to see when was the last time you posted about the opportunity, not just the opportunity like, oh, I took my kids to the movie on a Tuesday because I stay at home, like, but really got like raw and real, like this is my why. Like for me, And you guys know I'm very like present a problem, provide a solution, present a problem, provide a solution. Like telling someone you took your kids to the movie theater on a Tuesday morning, like, yeah, that's cool. We realize you stay home, but that doesn't like toggle with any emotions whatsoever. And so like when I say like get raw and real, like sometimes I will even scroll through my phone and look at pictures from like 3 or 4 years ago, and just like seeing pictures will spark memories. Like, oh, we went to the zoo that day and I remember we had to park 3 miles away because I couldn't afford parking. And I know it was hot. My kids had to walk in there. We had to bring our own water bottles. We brought our own sandwiches. Like that sparked that memory for me that we couldn't afford snacks at a concession stand at the zoo. I couldn't afford parking at the zoo. And I was a struggling mom. And like seeing a picture like that sparks that memory. So if you're like, I don't know my why, I don't know why I'm doing this besides to get healthy, like I encourage you, like scroll through your phone, look back 3 years, not just for like, oh, look at my before picture, my after picture, but look at like your pictures, and it will spark so many memories and so many things like that now that I feel like I've almost forgot about, because we have been thankfully financially stable for years now. And I sometimes forget what it was like to live paycheck to paycheck or live cash withdrawal from cash withdrawal and not be able to give my kids what they needed. And looking through pictures like that, it takes getting very raw and real on social media. And it took me, it was very uncomfortable at first, I will say that, but there are so many more people that relate to you than will judge you. There are so many people on your feed that can relate to the problems you had, like me sharing my problem about our finances. I mean, that's a huge thing I talk about because that is point blank the reason why I started. I needed money, I needed quick, I needed stable money, I needed it now, and I needed it somehow without having to pay for daycare for my kids. So that's what I talk about, and I always go back to that. And even just talking about this now, it sparks, like, I know I started with Lavelle and 2 weeks later, COVID shut down my daycare. And like, this was it. And that feeling that I felt is so foreign to me, and that I almost have to like force myself to go back and relive it so I can talk about it. And that's what like going through pictures and figuring out exactly why you're doing this, and then being real on social media. I know I've talked before about like when I signed up, I left literally $13 in my bank account. I have the screenshot because when I was doing my taxes, I was like, holy shit, like a Lavelle transaction for $800, remaining balance $13. Like that's the stuff that like people will relate to, that toggles again their emotions. Something saying you took your kids to go do something on Tuesday morning, like that doesn't mess with anyone's emotions. That doesn't show a problem and provide a solution. You're simply saying, I stay at home with my kids. Like nothing that goes any further past that. So when you guys are doing your opportunity bus, I really encourage you to get raw and real. And if you are like, I have no idea what to talk about, I have no idea what my reason why is, like, you need to like sit down and figure out why you do this. Because if you don't have a reason why, when life gets too busy or this is inconvenient, it will be the first thing gone. Point blank, this will be the first thing that you're like, I'm not doing that anymore, because you don't have a reason why to do it. So that really, like talking about opportunity posts, that really hit hard. And the fact that when you're talking about like, you have to walk in like you are the shit. I remember when we moved to Texas and we met our neighbors. Of course, when you meet someone new, the first thing is, oh, what do you do? And we were like, oh, like we're network marketers. We work online and that's where our income comes from. And so many people are like, what? You do what? Like you make money online? How? Like no one knew what it was. And I remember that's when I was like, holy cow, there are so many people that don't know what this is. And if I would have started the conversation differently, like, and owned my shit, it would have been a completely different conversation. Like we walked into a meeting last week with a real estate agency, and they of course were asking what I was doing. And I was like, I'm a network marketer. Our team has disrupted this industry. We are the number 4 for the fastest growth in the entire company. And she was like, holy, like the conversation is different when you present yourself like you are the shit, and you 100% are. And it doesn't mean you have to be a millionaire or drive a fancy car or have the biggest house to be able to talk about what this opportunity has done for you. If it pays for your groceries, walk into the room like you are the shit, because so many people don't have that luxury. If it has provided you a means to stay at home and not pay for daycare, like you should be walking into the room like you own the shit, because there are so many people that would kill to have that opportunity. Like know how valuable you are and stop downplaying your own success. And when it comes to numbers, like freaking be proud of your numbers. Talk about how much you've sold, how many customers you have, how much your total volume is, all of that. Like own those numbers, because there are so many people watching you that are network marketers that are struggling that would kill to have $1,000 in sales like you ended up last month and you beat yourself up over it. There are so many people that would kill to be able to sell $3,000 per month and you sat down last month and beat yourself up over it. Like there are so many people watching you that would kill to be in your circumstance, and you're sitting here downplaying what you have your hands on. So those are just a couple of things that came to mind listening to you talk, Courtney.
I love you. That's so good. Like, I mean, even just like hearing you say that, it's like that paints the picture of freedom is cool, but the picture of struggle and then freedom is freaking deep. And you can do that even if you're not a mom. Putting gas in your car versus I remember only being able to put $5 in there. Like you can take anything a little bit deeper, take it past gratitude and go connect it back to where you came from and where you used to be. Cassie, that's so good. That was so good. I was like, yes, I remember that. I remember like it came up on my memories, not being able to afford like spring break clothes for the kids whenever we were going someplace new, and then being able to. Okay, hold on, let me look at my notes. So I'm just going to kind of like go through these notes of what Jason Camper said in our leadership meeting. And it was like, this industry is very much a cycle of rinse and repeat, but will you keep rinsing and repeating? I'm going to tell you right now that this is one of my favorite quotes ever. And I say it to you, like, you have to know that this is not bullshit. This is literally something that I've told myself over and over and over. And the minute you get to the other side and understand what I'm saying is the minute where everything changes. And it is, you will do a lot of things in network marketing that you never get paid for. And then one day you will realize you're getting paid for a lot of things that you never do. If you want a $10,000 a week paycheck, it is physically impossible for you to enroll and make that money by yourself. It starts with you. It starts with that $50 paycheck and that $80 paycheck. I hear so many people like, my paycheck was only $40. I'm discouraged. And I'm like, the difference in between me and you is you just showed me how to make $40. I'm going to show you how I'm going to turn it into 80 and then 160 and then so on and so forth. The difference in between someone that gets it and someone that doesn't is that they think that they are literally at a job and they don't see the potential in compounding that number and going, and literally that would be like sitting out front of my house and saying, well, all I sold was a $5 glass of lemonade today. And then realizing, holy shit, if I taught all of my neighbors how to do this and everyone else in DFW how to sell this magic lemonade and I got a cut of it, I could be rich. And I say that not thinking like, oh, I'm rich. I'm saying like, that's how my mind works. I don't think, oh, this is only an $80 paycheck. I think, what could I do with these efforts and make a shit ton more money? Oh, I know, I could go grab people and teach them how to do it too. It's as simple as a mindset switch. I hear so many times like, well, it was only this much, maybe one day. And I'm like, how committed are you to going and teaching somebody else to do what you do and teaching the next person to do what you do? And like, it's really that simple. If you're only making $50 a week or this or that, let that excite you, because now you've unlocked the formula to generating money online. And take it and fucking run with it. Go teach anyone that'll let you teach them how to do it. That's when I realized, because my husband, I will never forget one of my first paychecks. It was with a different company. We only got paid once a month and it was $400. And he's like, oh, cool. You worked 40 hours a week for 4 weeks and you made $400. Courtney, do you know how much that is an hour? Now I remember it was very discouraging. And now every week, trust me, when I text him how much I make every week, he don't do nothing besides say thank you. Oh my God, or holy shit. And I said, yeah, do you see now how your efforts compound but you have to keep going up that mountain. You have to keep climbing up that mountain, and you have to go teach that next person. And guess what? Someone you teach how to do this may not want to do it anymore. The difference in between me and the person that gave up is I didn't give up. I've lost rank 5 times. I've lost 200Ks. I've lost way more than I've gained, but what I've gained would make you throw up. And that's what you have to have your mindset. I was talking to somebody today and I said, see, the difference is in between me and you is you're upset because all you made was $80. And I wanted to go create an income where if my check was down by 10 grand for the week, it wouldn't affect the way I lived. And I went and did that. And that was just a mindset thing. I wanted to have a paycheck so big and help so many people that somebody could fall off because they're gonna, someone could quit because they're gonna, it could be a slower week because it's gonna be, and it wouldn't affect what food I put on my table, me paying my rent. But it wasn't like that at the beginning, y'all. Number one, I didn't just think that magically I was going to become a professional and not have another source of income. I fucking worked my ass off running a daycare 12 hours a day, 5 days a week with 12 kids, 6 in diapers, Monday through Friday, August, September, October, and then at the end of November, I closed my daycare. I had no time. I literally had no extra time, and I didn't want to live like that anymore. And so I fought my way out of somewhere I didn't want to be. And, you know, I hear people say, well, how is this going to pay the bills? And I'm like, this pays way more than my bills now. But I didn't go and just quit and think I was going to figure it out overnight. I knew it was going to happen over time. And I want you to have a realistic expectation for yourself. But so many people are beating themselves up in this industry because their first year in, they're not able to become a full-time mom and they're barely getting by. And I'm like, what are you doing? This right here, to me, is a business that you need to be building in the background until it becomes what is in the forefront of your life. I literally remember telling Jay, I have to close my daycare because I can't keep up. Like I can't, this is taking off and it's taking over, but I had to get it up and running and get it to that point before it was going. So what else? Hold on, let me look at my notes because I could just talk all night.
Yeah, and with that, like you 100% have to take it in stages. Like we, and Casey and I talk about all the time, like I felt like we were working like 6 different jobs when I started with Lavelle. I had a full-time daycare. He became an essential worker and was working like 70 plus hours per day. He didn't even like sleep at the house half the time. Like he was always gone. And even that like wasn't enough. He would pick up side jobs. He would help people do landscaping and mow lawns. And I would pick up random babysitting jobs at night. And like when Lavelle started, we didn't just like, oh, say F everything else. Like we kept working 24/7, like 6 jobs to get this business off the ground. And I don't know if any of you guys were here at the time when we first started. The first summer that I came in, the summer of 2020, our team was doing over $100,000 in sales that summer. And now we don't do that. But the thing is, like, we had people fall off. We had a 40K leave, and there's just, like Courtney was saying, there's always going to be ups and downs. I could tell you 1,000 reasons why I would have quit in that summer of 2020. People left, my volume fell down, my paychecks fluctuated, but I knew that my kids didn't deserve parents that worked 24/7. I knew that my kids deserved new clothes, not just Goodwill clothes. Like I knew my kids wanted to be able to do sports. And I know 3 years ago, I couldn't afford dance class. Paisley begged to be in volleyball and I couldn't afford a volleyball fee. Like that was stuff I knew my kids didn't deserve. That was enough for me to get my ass out of bed the next day when I had a 40K quit, my volume completely fell. Like that was enough motivation for me to keep going. And I know all of you guys probably have 1,000 reasons why you're like, oh, I could quit tomorrow. I could give you 1,000 reasons why I'm done. But I really encourage you guys to look at the reason why you're doing this, because that's going to be the reason that gets you out of bed tomorrow when you had a shitty day today. And it's like she said, it's not overnight success. It's around the clock. You get up and you do it again. You rinse and repeat. If you had sent out 10 samples last month and no one turned into a customer, send out 20 this month and I guarantee you one will turn into a customer, and then do it again the next month. I have months where I send out 10 and 8 people become customers. And then I have months where I send out 20 and no one becomes a customer. Like, it's rinse and repeat. And it's how often are you willing to keep rinsing and repeating to see the success that you want to see?
Yep, I love that. Spot on. You should always fight to stay in forward motion, and you should be celebrating every win. If you are going to turn your head left or right when something gets you down, damn it, you better be celebrating every single win. And check yourself. I know, trust me, y'all, it didn't get any easier when you become more and more successful. It gets harder and harder, and the blows you get hurt worse. But I'm going to tell you right now, I wouldn't trade what I do for anything in the world. The life I get to live and the things I get to do with my family and for my children, like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Every time I get knocked down, I get up stronger. I envision it like being at the gym. You lift heavier weights to build more muscle. I know that that comes with the territory now, and it doesn't scare me. Do I get in my head still? Yeah, of course, Coco. But for me, like, that's what's made me who I am. Embrace challenges, embrace obstacles. Every time I go through an obstacle, you hear that, like, well, what lesson am I learning? You got to go a step deeper. What lesson am I learning? Because I'm going to need to teach it. I know when I go through something hard, every single time, a year later, it's me sitting in the opposite seat talking to somebody else about how to make it through it. I know I don't go through stuff for no damn reason. I know people quit. This happens, that happens, and it preps me to be the leader that I need to be when the next person goes through it, period. I couldn't coach somebody to go through something hard if I had never gone through it. I wouldn't be able to understand. I wouldn't be able to relate. And I just feel like so many times we discount our struggles, and those are our best teachers. Those are where we learn the best lessons to be able to take it up to that next level. But a lot of people fold in those moments. And I'm like, man, you better get your pencil and your journal and start taking notes, because you're unlocking a new level and you're going to need that cheat code to help the next player. I am doing a giveaway for Just Y'all's team. I see how hard y'all are working, and I want to be able to give you back some of my absolute favorite things. I know I sent Laura and Cassie a graphic, and they were going to decide on what the qualifications would be for it and everything, but that's just, I see you. I'm proud of you. I know some days you're tired. I get it. I know that. I promise you though, like, I'm just going to say this, and this, please don't take this the wrong way. I would rather be a tired rich person than a tired broke person. Okay. If I'm going to be tired and stressed out, I at least want to have some money in my bank account. Okay. And I don't know, man, like, money didn't change me, but it did take away my stress. It did take away the things I used to worry about. It did take away the fact that I'm not embarrassed using food stamps anymore. It took away, it didn't make me a better person. It just made me have different opportunities. And I think that that's so important. That you also know, like, you can write down, like, Ashley Lowe will make $10,000 a week, and that, like, you can confidently say those things, and you're not being unrealistic. You're not being crazy. You're not deserving of that. Like, I wrote that down on my dream board, that that would blow my mind if I could start making $10,000 a week. I'm going to tell you right now that if my check's below $10,000 a week, I'm fucking pissed. Not mad, like greedy, mad, like, all right, I know what we need to do. And there are very few weeks that it is. Why? Because I wrote that down like 5 years ago, that's the reality I wanted to create for myself. Because where I was a principal, and I wasn't even making $4,000 a month as a principal. Now, you couldn't pay me $4,000 a week to be a principal. Why? Because I had a taste of this good life, this freedom, this stress-free environment that I've created myself. I mean, I still got stress, but it's different. Money's not one of it. So just think big, dream big, write big goals down next to your name, and then show up and carry yourself as if they've already happened. How would you have to run your business if it was $1 million a month business? Because the habits you create now, I always say you're going to go to your next level and you're going to have to take yourself. You want to take yourself? Are you going to be prepared for it? Are you going to be able to carry the weight of that next level if your habits suck? And I'm not telling you your habits suck. I'm saying I have to learn, like, trust me, I like to hit snooze. Okay. I know I've got, like, I had to get really serious and really clear about my goals if I wanted to get paid in a very serious manner. And you all deserve that. There's no reason why. I've never gotten on a Zoom and thought, well, some of y'all will be millionaires. I look at you and go, man, I hope I can experience your breakthrough and that you don't break. I hope that you don't fold and walk away and never see what you were capable of, because I know you're capable of it. I know you're worthy of it. That's how I view this. I sincerely do. I couldn't wait for the day to have a 200K, and then it turned into 11. And I can't wait for the day that it's like, okay, everyone get your millionaire sign. Bet. I may fail, but I don't quit, except for 75 hard. I did quit that today. I will let y'all be the first to know. That's breaking news. I did quit. I did. Y'all can write that down. Go and tell whoever you want. I quit 75 hard because I'm not drinking a gallon of water. Just letting y'all know right now.
Dude,
that's the only thing I quit.
Court, it's something that you just said was the fact that, like, how you carry yourself. Do you guys know that when I went on these trips, and how, like, I've went to Palooza and everything, I've talked to other 200Ks and they were like, you're 200K, right? Like, you're 200K. I'm like, no, I'm 80K. Like, I haven't hit 200K. What? No way. But I carry myself, and the way I present myself, like in my posts, in my stories, like, I'm 200K. I'm at the top of the company, like, you coming with me, let's go. I know how to teach you. But dude, that was so freaking good. Thank you so much, Court, for talking to Cassie and I's team.
Always.
We really appreciate you, and
I really appreciate y'all's team. Y'all are such a freaking dynamic team. Like, I have to, like, stop and remind myself to check on y'all, because, like, not because I don't care, because y'all are so freaking good that I'm like, oh, does Cassie and Laura need anything? Like, because y'all are so good, and I appreciate y'all so much.
Well, we appreciate you. And the fact that you're doing this giveaway means so much to Cassie and I. And I know that the team is, like, you guys are going to freak out when we drop this, because, like, it is so good. And it's like all of her favorite stuff. And I think that what we had decided was every two enrollments will equal an entry. So this way, like, anybody can get into it. It's not going to be like, 5 enrollments or 10 enrollments. Literally, you sign 2 new customers and you have an entry and you're in the game. Like, and there's, like, no minimum. So, like, go and do this. Get excited again. And like how she had talked about, the voice memo and everything. When you're getting your voice memo, I know so many of you guys send voice memos, but how many of you guys are getting monotone in there? Like, hey guys, but do like Court does, get excited. Like, girl, let me tell you, like, this stuff is like the bee's knees. Oh my gosh, I feel like I am 18 or like I'm 16, whatever. Like, whenever you felt good, and get them excited, because that's what it's all about, is just being excited about your business, being excited about the products you take, and just being a product of the product, showing them what you do. Yes, like, you may know that you take your capsules, or you may know that you take your treat meal or your whatever, but they don't know. Show them. Get active. But thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone who showed up and, like, poured into yourself, because, like, Court always has, the golden nuggets, and I know myself, I've took away so many good points here. But I'm super excited. Cass, you want to say anything to end it?
Yeah, I was just saying, like, be as excited as you were week one on your business when that first customer messaged you and said, I want to be on these products. I want auto ship. I want this upgrade. I want balance. I want this shake. And I want this TFT. And like, had no issues at paying for it, had no issues being on auto ship. Like, remember that feeling when that customer was like, I want this in auto ship and I want it every month. And here's my credit card number. Like, no questions asked. Like, how excited you were to be like, holy shit, someone wants the products and I'm going to get them on the products. Or the first time someone messaged you and signed up on your team was like excited about going to the training and getting on the Zooms and doing all the things and hit their VIPs, like that type of excitement. And I have to check myself too. Like, am I as excited as I was week one? Like, was what I was talking about on my stories or that voice memo as exciting as I was on week one of the products, when literally ignorance on fire? I knew jack squat about our vitamins. I didn't even know what shake flavors we had. I knew we had a 3-step system. It was $190. And if you wanted it, you gave me your credit card. Like, that's literally all I knew, but it was so exciting that people wanted what I had and people trusted what I had. And that is what legit jump started this entire team, was just the excitement of people wanting what we had. And I really encourage you guys to get that excitement back and talk to people as if it is day one and you are freaking excited to rock and roll with your business. But thank you guys for hopping on. I know the MMM is about to start, so we will see you guys there. Have a good night, guys.